Good morning, welcome to Planet Mojo. This morning I'm going to crimp this fitting onto that pipe back there with this IWISS crimping tool. There's not much as far as instructions go. Tells you how to change the heads. So what you get in here is a cutter. It's not the best looking cutter I've seen, but I don't know, it's probably going to last me for every PEX pipe I need to cut. You know, I don't have all that much work to do with PEX. If I was, you know, like 18, 20, I might buy a real nice set if I could afford it, but I think this is probably going to do it for me for the rest of my life. So what you got to do, I read through this and figured out how to change the heads. If you take these two inserts out, without any inserts, it will do 1 inch. This is 3/8, half, and 3/4. I need to get the 3/4 inch one on there, so I'll show you how to do that. All right, so what the instructions say to do is just open these up, and then these just come right out. You got to open it up a little more. Okay, and oopsie. All right, pop that one in, and show you what it looks like on the other side. So there's a little ramp on this little lever here. So when you close it, it pulls this little machine screw tight. So it's a little bit clumsy getting it on there, but it works, it's effective. And so far, this appears to be pretty well made. I looked at these for a while on Amazon, and there's a link to this in the description below if you want to get one. And this appeared to be what I needed for, again, for probably the rest of my life. This should be all I need. It appears to be strong enough. What does it say? It's got another feature here. Oh. And this says, by this design, you can make rings non-slip. Save deformed 3/4 and 1 inch rings. I don't know what that means yet. So, and it comes with the extra set. This is the set of machine screws, cap screws, and the lock nuts. So there's a spare set of that. This is the go, no go. If you try to, once you do your crimp, you try to slide this over the ring, and if it gets to a certain point it's a go and your crimp is good, and if it doesn't, it's a no-go. And they show that here. So I'll keep this with the tool because I probably won't be using it very often. It's just like the soldering. It's kind of like you got to remember how to do it every time because you do it every couple of years or 3 years, but I've been doing that all my life, so I'm definitely better at soldering than crimping. But I've crimped other things before, and this shouldn't be too big of a problem. So let's cut the end off of the pipe I got over there and do my first crimp. And the only reason I'm cutting the end off of this is because it's kind of chewed up, and it's actually on this side, but there's some pretty deep gouges in there. Well, that was pretty unexpected. It cut it like butter. I was barely even pushing on it. Well, that's nice. And this stuff is like really stiff and strong. Okay, so that was a good experience so far. So now for the crimping. These are Apollo PEX. These are the steel ones. And they make copper ones as well. I guess they're just easier. Oh, you know what? I wonder if I should have this in place because this stuff is so stiff. If I were to crimp it, like say right here, and then try to get it into place up where it's going, it might not want to go there. So I should get everything in place and put a little hash mark there. And then from what I read elsewhere, there's no instructions here. You're supposed to go about 1/8 of an inch out, right about there, and do the crimp like that. But let me go get this in place and mark it first so I don't make any dumb mistakes. Okay, I had to run and get a file and file some of this dribbly solder off of this fitting, but you can see that's where it's going to connect copper to copper. Got a connection for that. But when I had to pull a little more of this PEX to get it over here, and from taking it from where it was hanging right there and bringing it up here, you could feel it doing like almost a full twist. So I'm glad that I thought of this. So what I'm going to do is just get a nice mark right like that. You do this with PVC and stuff too. Okay, now I'm going to pull it out, and yeah, I was surprised how easy the PEX comes on and off, even though it did give me a little bit of a fight right there. Okay, let's do this crimp. Okay, oh, that works out good. My line is right in front of me, so we'll get this crimp ring on. Yeah, I can see this being fairly difficult to deal with in, you know, if you got to do something like this. Yeah, I almost you need a helper or an extra set of hands to do this. See, I can't see where, oh, there it is. Make sure that's all the way down. Trying to make sure it's on there all the way and lined up and the tool lined up. Okay. Go, no go. I gotta read the instructions again, but I believe that is a go. Okay. It says that if this ring slides in to the go mark, which is a little line right there. I'm not sure if you're going to be able to see this or not. See that hash mark? Just like that, which is like this. That is a go. And if you can't get it on, if it's like this, that's a no-go right here. And if it goes all the way in, that's a no-go, which it definitely does not. It's pretty much the same all the way around. Okay, I got this all soldered up and she's aiming the right way. It's all twisted the right way. Now, eventually I will have to get that PEX pipe fixed to that lower cord of that truss so that there's not a belly in it like that. It'll have to go slightly uphill and then attach to this bracing, run all the way down, and then again over here. It can't have any belly in it all the way over to here. And then what I'm going to do temporarily is just cut it off low here, right about there, so I can just hang it into my water bucket for my soldering. And I will do my second crimp. I'm going to get this one on there. Then I got to put the plug back in here and test the whole thing. Hopefully there's no leaks. Then once I'm done testing, I have to take this plug out. I'll just cut that plug off. I don't have a remover tool yet. They show one on here for other newbies. That's what it looks like right there. And it's just like an anvil on one side and a cutter on the other, and it cuts the ring. And they show it cutting steel and copper, so, and other companies make them as well. But I think I'll get one of those as well. This tool itself I have linked down in the comment section, so if you want to try that out, go there. And so far it was quite easy. They also make, where is that? The crimper. They make a version with longer handles, which people say makes it harder to get into tight spaces, but obviously you're going to have more mechanical leverage, so it's going to be easier to crimp. I found this pretty damn easy, so that's the one for me. Okay, I'm going to cut this pipe and get this plug in there. Okay, right about here. Should make it in the bucket. Again, very easy to cut. Really surprised this cutter. Maybe they're all that easy, but this cutter, I thought it looked pretty low end, low grade, but it works just fine. I guess if this had a magnet on it, it would make it much easier. So it wants to just fall off, and this it's not super easy to balance this tool. Okay, now I'm going to stick this end in a bucket, get that threaded plug in place, and give her a shot. Okay, I have my fitting in the bucket, my PEX pipe running across the room and down to here. Both valves are shut off. Well, first we can see if this leaks, which it better not. I mean, that could leak right there. No big deal, but this has been tested already. It's this right here. Wow. I don't know if you could hear all that or not. And there's extra noise coming out of here. That's the gray water. There's a video of that too. It goes over here, it's got a trap, and it comes up for the sink, and it goes out to the gray water. Ah, I got a leak. Oh, it's my solder joint, not the PEX. Ah, but that's still a good amount of work. All right, I got to cut this end off and let this drain out. What a nightmare. Kind of had a feeling about that joint. Well, that is good news and bad news kind of a situation. The PEX worked out just fine, but now I'm going to I'll have to cut this joint off and put a piece in there. Oh, you know what? I can actually cut it off right behind there with the DeWalt oscillating tool. But I really want to get no, I do have to cut that out and get it out of there. So I'll just cut it right below that and make a whole new elbow piece. What a putz. I don't want to have two splices in it, so I'll just go down a little bit lower and then make a new elbow and make damn sure I get my transition one, the copper to PEX. I don't think I got it hot enough. It looked a little porous looking at the edge of it, so I should have known better. All right, so my next video will be fixing this stuff. I'm gonna have to run to the local store and see if they have the transition piece, the PEX to copper. I hope they do. It's a small little hardware store, so you know, there's a good possibility that they don't have any PEX stuff. Okay, so I'm going to make a list. So again, the PEX did work just fine, and it was all pretty easy. It's the copper that is generally the problem. So I'm thinking I might not use copper anymore altogether. I could generally do a pretty good job of it. I mean, I haven't had a leak in a long time, but the bigger fittings like that, you got to get them hot enough, and apparently I didn't. Okay, well, I got to get ready. I'm going to run to town when I go pick up Natalie, and I'll check right away, because if not, I got to run to the big town, and I really want to get this water stuff done. You know, as it is, now I got to drain this again because it freezes in here at night. I got to go through all that again. I got to make sure that this PEX has drained. But I'll get it in the end. So if you want to see how to fix something like this, stay tuned for the next episode. Make sure you subscribe and click on the update icon so you're notified. If you have any questions or comments, make sure you put them in the comment section below. I generally answer them all. And if you give the video a like and or share it, it helps the channel out greatly. Thanks for watching, and have a great day.